The fluorescent hum of the office buzzed like a swarm of angry bees, drilling into Alex's skull as he hunched over his desk, fingers flying across the keyboard. Rain pattered against the Seattle high-rise window, a relentless drumbeat mirroring the thud in his chest. It was his first week at Vanguard Media, the kind of gig he'd chased for years, designing bold campaigns for indie films, the air thick with the scent of fresh ink from the printer down the hall. But then the elevator dinged, and the world tilted. Jordan Hale stepped out, all broad shoulders and easy swagger, barking orders at some intern with that same cocky grin Alex remembered from sophomore year at Roosevelt High. The guy who'd shoved him into lockers, called him fairy boy in the halls, left bruises that faded slower than the shame. Now here he was, marketing director, tie loosened like he owned the damn place. Their eyes locked across the open-plan floor, Jordan's blue stare widening for a split second. A flicker of recognition, then that trademark smirk curling his lip. New blood, he drawled, voice smooth as aged whiskey, sauntering over like nothing had changed. Alex's throat tightened, the old heat rising, anger. But something sharper, buried deep. Yeah, he managed, voice steady despite the tremor in his gut. Alex Rivera. Lead designer. Jordan's hand extended, warm and calloused, grip lingering a beat too long. Jordan Hale. Welcome aboard. The air crackled, unspoken history hanging heavy, and Alex wondered if apologies came wrapped in conference room small talk. That night, alone in his cramped Capitol Hill apartment, Alex cracked a beer, the fizz hissing like a sigh of defeat. Posters of old Hitchcock films peeled at the edges on his walls, the room smelling of damp wool from his coat slung over the chair. He scrolled through LinkedIn, half hoping, half dreading to find Jordan's profile. There was Harvard MBA, Kraftboer enthusiast, a photo of him hiking the Olympics, wind-tousled hair catching the sun. No mention of the past. No, sorry for being a teenage asshole. Alex slammed the laptop shut, heart pounding. Why did it still hurt? Why did that handshake feel like a spark on dry tinder? Weeks blurred into a rhythm of forced proximity, brainstorm sessions where Jordan's ideas clashed with Alex's sketches, his laugh booming over the whiteboard like thunder. Too soft, Jordan would say, leaning in close, breath warm against Alex's ear, critiquing a moody poster for a queer indie drama. Alex bristled, pencil snapping in his fist. It's evocative, not soft. Real emotion isn't all flash. Jordan's eyes narrowed, then softened, just a fraction, before he clapped Alex's shoulder. Fair point. Rivera. Let's iterate. The touch lingered again. Electric. And Alex hated how his skin remembered it, how the office AC couldn't cool the flush creeping up his neck. One Friday, after a brutal pitch to the execs, Vanguard's big rom-com campaign. All glossy heartbreak, the team spilled into a dive bar on Pike Street. Neon buzzed, open in the window. The air thick with fry oil and spilled stout. Alex nursed a gin and tonic at the corner booth, ice clinking like nervous laughter, when Jordan slid in across from him. Sleeves rolled up, forearms veined and strong. You killed it today, Jordan said, voice low under the jukebox crooning Springsteen. Alex snorted, the burn of lime sharp on his tongue. We killed it. Even if you did hijack my color palette. Jordan chuckled, deep and rumbling, leaning forward on his elbows. The bar's dim light carved shadows on his face, highlighting the faint scar above his brow, same one from that fight junior year. The one Alex had witnessed but never reported. Alex. About back then. The words hung, fragile as the condensation dripping down their glasses. Alex's pulse thrummed. The room narrowing to just them. The murmur of colleagues fading to white noise. "You were a dick," he said flatly. But his voice cracked. They didn't kiss that night. But something cracked open. Monday morning, Jordan left a black coffee on Alex's desk, extra shot. No sugar. Just how he liked it, a sticky note scrawled, "Fuel for the fire." Alex's lips twitched, the bitterness on his tongue mirroring the twist in his gut. Or just another layer of complication. Workdays stretched, laced with stolen glances over monitors. Jordan's foot brushing Alex's under the conference table during lunch runs. The accidental on-purpose graze sending sparks up his calf. Seattle's perpetual drizzle mirrored the slow thaw, mornings fogged with uncertainty. Afternoons clearing to tentative blue. It built like a storm front. Late one Thursday, the office emptying under sodium street lamps. They stayed to tweak the campaign trailer. The editing suite hummed. Screens glowing with clips of lovers reuniting on rain-slicked streets, echoes too close to home. Alex hit play. The swell of strings filling the dark room. And Jordan's hand found his knee. Thumb tracing circles through denim. "Alex," he murmured. Voice gravelly. Turning in the swivel chair. Their faces inches apart. Breaths mingling, mint from gum. Coffee lingering. Alex's heart hammered. A wild drum solo. "This is insane," he whispered. But he didn't pull away. Jordan's eyes, stormy blue, searched his. "Tell me to stop." Silence stretched, thick as fog rolling off the sound. Then Alex leaned in, lips brushing tentative, tasting salt and regret. The kiss deepened. But redemption wasn't linear. Whispers rippled through the office, raised eyebrows at their shared cabs home. The way Jordan's gaze softened during meetings. Alex's ex, a barista from his college days, texted out of nowhere, "Heard you're cozy with your boss." Kef. "Babe, bullies don't change." Doubt crept in like Seattle's chill, seeping through cracks. One night, after a Mariners game, crack of bats echoing in Alex's ears. Hot dog mustard sharp on his fingers, they argued in Jordan's loft overlooking Elliott Bay. Waves lapped the pilings below. A rhythmic sigh. "You think this is easy for me?" Jordan snapped. Pacing the hardwood. City lights fracturing in the rain-streaked windows. "Every time I look at you, I see the kid I hurt. The one I wanted but was too chicken shit to admit it." Alex's chest tightened. The room spinning with the scent of Jordan's cologne, cedar and storm, mingling with the faint brine from the water. "Then why start now? Why me?" Tears pricked. Hot and unbidden. Jordan stopped, cupping Alex's face. Thumbs brushing away the damp tracks. "Because you're the one who stayed. The one who sees me. Scars and all." They collapsed onto the couch. Months folded like well-worn scripts. They went public, subtle at first. Jordan's hand in Alex's pocket during farmers' market Sundays. The crunch of fresh apples underfoot. Laughter bubbling free. Vanguard thrived. Their campaign snagged an Emmy nod. Champagne popping in the bullpen. Fizz spraying like celebratory tears. But the real arc played out quieter. Therapy sessions where Jordan unpacked his father's ghost. Voice cracking over chamomile steam, Alex's vulnerability journal. Pages filling with sketches of Jordan's profile. Soft in sleep. Pride weekend hit like a fever dream, rainbow flags snapping in the breeze along Broadway. Bass thumping from floats. The crowd a pulsing heartbeat. They marched hand in hand. Jordan's grip ironclad. Alex's free fingers tracing the pulse at his wrist. "I love you," Jordan yelled over the cheers. Raw and unscripted. Alex's world blurred, tears mixing with mist, as he shouted back. "Took you long enough." In the end, it wasn't fireworks or grand gestures. It was mornings in bed. Sheets twisted like plot twists. Jordan's rumble of coffee vibrating against Alex's back as sunlight slanted through blinds, gilding dust motes in gold. It was choosing each other, daily, through boardroom battles and bedside confessions, the bully's shadow yielding to a partner's light. Alex traced the scar on Jordan's brow one dawn, lips brushing it soft. "We're rewriting the story," he murmured. Jordan smiled, sleepy and sure, pulling him closer. "Damn right. And it's a bestseller."